Long ago, in a quiet forest, there lived animals who shared their lives together. They lived in peace, but not everyone was satisfied. Kwaku Ananse, and he had an idea, a dangerous idea. In this forest, the sacred drum was not just an instrument, it was how the animals spoke to one another. Whenever it was played, every animal would listen to the drum carefully to decode the information being shared. Curious and full of mischief, Kwaku Ananse climbed down quietly. Step by step, he moved toward the sacred drum. He beat the drum, crying out that the forest was on fire. Ananse didn't just play the drum. He gathered dry leaves and started a small, smoky fire right beside it to make his lie look real. Across the forest, the animals stopped. They tilted their ears, trying to decode the frantic rhythm of the drum. High upon the great rock, the animals gathered. Their hearts hammered like the drum itself as they watched the gray ghost of smoke claim the sky. But high above the smoke, the parrot saw the truth. It wasn't a great forest fire, but a tiny flame, and a silver river flowed just a few steps away. Led by the parrot's guidance, the great elephants marched to the river's edge. With one mighty breath, they drew in the cool water to silence the lie. With the smoke cleared and the trick revealed, a new rhythm took over the forest, not one of fear, but of a family joined in dance. Silence fell as the great lion stepped forward. He looked into the eyes of every animal, seeking the one who had turned their sacred drum into a tool of fear. The forest grew loud with whispers and pointing paws. Seeking an easy answer, the animals turned their eyes toward the tiger, blaming the hunter for the chaos. With a heavy heart and a lowered head, the tiger turned away. Silently, he vanished into the emerald shadows, leaving behind a silence more chilling than the smoke. The lion's eyes narrowed as he called for Kwaku Ananse. The little spider stepped into the light, spinning a web of lies as thick as the jungle itself. The king was no fool. As the sun dipped below the trees, he whispered a secret command to the one friend he knew would never sleep until the truth was found. The moon climbed high, turning the jungle to silver. Hidden in the thickest shadows, the dog kept his watch, waiting for a thief who thought the world was fast asleep. Ananse reached out, his spindly fingers inches from the drum's skin. He thought he had won, until a growl from the shadows told him his game was over. The dog didn't just watch, he let out a bark that shook the very leaves of the trees. For Kwaku Ananse, the master of tricks, there was nowhere left to hide. The shadows stepped forward, turning into the faces of those Ananse had wronged. The circle was complete, and for the first time the spider had no story left to spin. The forest held its breath as the great king stepped into the circle. One by one the animals took their place, their eyes fixed on the small spider whose web of lies had finally come unraveled. The forest grew silent as the great lion spoke. For Ananse, the master of shadows, there would be no more tricks, only the weight of his own choices. And so the lion punished Kwaku Ananse. For his greed and his lies, he was banished from the firelight, destined to hide in the cracks and corners of the world forever. As the first light of dawn touched the trees, the anger of the night melted away. Kwaku Ananse stood before his king and brothers. laying down his pride to ask for a fresh start. The forest echoed not with the sound of fire or lies, but with laughter. Under the watchful eye of their king, the animals learned that truth is the strongest bond of all. And as for Ananse, he learned that a friend is worth more than any trick.